this is my issue with the story. It's stupid. Like, it's just stupid and contrived. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be doing a live reaction to OverGeared. This is my first time reading it. I'm quite excited to actually be reading it. So let's get started. So there are two OverGeared manga. I'm guessing this one is the older one, comes in 2019 year. I'm not really sure if they are the same story though. The Hunting Ground occupied as well. So, but I was recommended OverGeared to read. As I just want to read for the first time and give my reaction as I am reading it. Right off the bat, I'm getting solo leveling vibe. Like, this art style is beautiful. I'm hoping for more great things to come. This is actually like really beautiful. Like, I want to check the studio. They have to definitely be step studio because the way they draw demons here is almost the same way they draw demons. But the art style is really good. Just looking at these demons, they look like the same type of demons that were in solo leveling. You remember when Jin fought the Demon King, the Demon King castle? These are definitely how the demons look like. Those horde of demons that Demon King summoned when you open that rift. That's a great problem. I will say this: the aesthetic is good, but not really the face of the characters. Like, this character looks. Will I say the color? Maybe the color, the grading of the character's face. It just looks blah. It's like all this new Chinese manhwa or manhwa. I'm not sure the pronunciation. Good pronunciation. Tell me down in the comment section below. This is like boss movies coming on. Like, boss music is playing. It's like unveiling your new car. What is this? This is way too much. I'm guessing it's a video game. I don't think this is real life. I don't think so. I didn't actually read the plot. What is a tail? And it moves apparently. I don't know about that. But I've seen a sword with pickants. Like, I'm liking this manga more and more. It feels feeling like One Piece. Wait, they just do ridiculous things. It feels similar to Tomb Raider. It's too much like Tomb Raider. I just knew it was a game. Like, it has to be a game. But why was this scared of dying? It was a game. It's a game. Like, you get logged out for a day or what? Or do you lose your account if you die? Like, if I don't want to think about it, that's actually a game like that. Wouldn't that really just suck? Like, if you die, you start from level 1. I don't think people play for that long, knowing that they won't want to put money into it. I saw Ashura, but maybe because of One Piece this week, because we saw Ashura this week in One Piece, and it was, oh god, it was just beautiful. So if you are getting this like months later, Ashura was this week, and getting it live reaction. Like, I don't kind of hurt me that I didn't do a live reaction to One Piece. It's painful, but oh, it was so good. I wonder why they abandoned you. It's like, if you don't want to spend a lot of things inside the game, like, yes, and yes, you have an ambition, but most times it's just being unreasonable. You're sinking tons of money inside it. Like, if you have the money to sink inside the game, like, go for it. Seriously, I will not be one of those people. I will say don't go for it. A lot of things I passionate about is I had money to, I will sink money into them, but I'll never take my wellness or my welfare over those things, ever. Oh, I thought, okay, now this feels stupid. So the arrow that kept attacking was not, so I have to go back, because it seems the arrow that came to attack him was not the same. No, it's like it's actually like an NPC, the same guy. This is like an NPC. So what is the real kick out the story? And it's like, if it's a game, I know, how does it detect your anger and as long as comic man attack you? It's just okay. I guess can do that because it's technology in the future. Let's have an open mind, but still. So the L came, the quest came SS rank because L came, so it's definitely an NPC. It can't be a player that the quest to grab because the player is attacking him. It's not solo leveling. It's not leveling. I was considering my mind around that, but so it's a quest. So he lost to a quest, and that is his motion game. Okay, I'll say this personally. I'm not all about, like, I know, like, let's say it's just like average thing about writing and all, but you can't really base someone's entire motion or motive upon a failed quest. that was by an NPC. It was not any player related stuff. It doesn't need many down part or anything. It's a game that got that difference. Like someone beats you, like Dark Souls beats you. All of a sudden you go on a quest of revenge in Dark Souls, become very good at Dark Souls. Probably compelling, I know, but it doesn't really add that emotional weight to it because it's just the game that beats you for not being good at it. It wasn't like you weren't good at the game and then you probably lost something valuable, probably lost your time and everything. There needs to be a human context to actually feel like something actually matters. Or at least it needs to be played off in the right proportion. Right now, I just feel like the story just became because it's like he lost the game, and the entire reason his world came crushing down was because he lost the quest in the game, which was above his grade before. Like he wasn't supposed to take the quest or anything, so he went there and he lost. It's not like someone betrayed him or anything, or he has stuff with a player died that he knows. Most times, when I want to make an emotional bit of a story, it most times fits to have like human emotion, not an AI. At least even if it's an AI, let the AI show emotion. It should just meh. Because we know what's coming afterwards already. It's going to come super strong and everything, but the reason is not impressive. Like I said, that's part of the melody me out. So I'm seeing this. I'm just supposed to be cool and all. But before that, there was no maybe an emotional. But there was no really. What is it called? There's not like the inciting incident there. Like the story does have stuff, but there's nothing to really invest to capture your attention there because the entire scene of the NPC just ruins it for me. It's not a player because if it was a player, as Pablo was with a guild and then the guild betrayed him. Then he was trying to sell an item, which was wrong and all. But he was still trying to sell the item and then they betrayed him. I found out that probably they were even more scummier than him. Or they betrayed him or something like that. Then you understand the player going down a path, but it was an NPC, part of the game that you lost to because of the game, and then that was supposed to be like we're supposed to care about that. No, no. Like if you lost to like an AI in a game, like I would care like, oh yeah, you lost and all, but I won't really care much about the fact that you lost. I mean that doesn't make much sense. But it's more like you won't really care because the AI itself is not like, let me say, like evil or bad or something. You just lost because you are not good enough, frankly speaking. It's like it was out of human force. I feel like humans are really the best. Human emotion is really the best way to get one invested because this I feel nothing. Like they do this in solo leveling. There's this block like bad, but yeah, it's just meh. Let's keep reading. Plus, this game must really be broken. It just has this one item laying around and maxes out your stats for you alone. It's one broken game. But then again, it's better than some other games that I've seen in anime. Yeah, you see them suffer, but it was programmed to suffer that way. So, does it matter? Does it really matter? Like, this is my point. Does it really matter? The AI is suffering, but does it really matter? Is an AI, is part of the game. He's not made like a separate entity from the game. Doesn't really matter. It's I don't know why the author thought people care about this. Like really, why would you care about an AI? It's an AI. It's part of the game. You didn't win the game because you are not good enough. Nobody. I won't say nobody because I personally I don't know if anybody cares about this. But if you care about terminal and construction, I'm sure the story might still be good, at least. But this has ruined my emotional investment in the story. Okay, that was like genuinely funny because it was like, oh yeah, I'm super strong, and then the back act damn the back level. Okay, that was super funny. After my ranting, it's good to try to laugh at something because I was getting really pissed off. But that was funny. But I would say this entire chapter doesn't really do much for me. Like the entire stuff doesn't really do much. If you found the item and got strong off it, it's good. And they show a backstory of him getting betrayed. Fine. But this backstory does not emotionally for me. But this is pure good. Well, this one's they don't like the game dev. Okay, I think they said certified them at the company because at one point, guys, I saw them at one point in time. I'm not exactly sure. What's the name of the game? I think it's the name of the game. I guess it's a big corporation. The fact that they have his detail and all, that's just scary. But yeah, like they can come after you in real life. Like what's to stop them for like if the game becomes that valuable and know you are in real life, what's to stop them from coming to your house in real life and killing you? Like think about that. This is bad exposition. She just give us basically exposition that we didn't need to know. It's one of god. Okay, I may have rant about this later, but this is one of the things I have issues with. Like it's a novel, so you can read it like in one go and forget about it. But this is an anime is way worse. But he basically gave us stuff like his mere covenant is foolish, he's obsessed with this. She only need to say like 2 or 3 lines here, but giving everything in detail is so lazy. Like but this is not even the worst part actually. The worst part is something like deathmatch or which other series was that was so bad that they'll give you yeah ultimate magicians that series that's like the worst. That's like one of my worst anime ever. Ultimate magicians. And the thing about that series was that like it was like they give you one description and then that description will not fit other descriptions. Like they will usually give you an info dump. That was one. And then the info dump will actually fit the character itself. Like there was nothing worse than giving an info dump. And I cannot say what that would worse is. That giving a wrong info dump as supposed to be like information. And then after I give an info dump, the character is supposed to change and be like, oh, I've changed. This is not good writing in any way. If someone is persistent, show us by is tough. When someone says someone is courageous, it makes more impact when you've seen the person doing it and they just putting words to it. Not when you barely know the person. Someone is saying, oh, it's just to based on mere confidence, based on his effect shit. Like how confident is he really? And then based upon his inefficient and foolish, shouldn't that be more of obsession rather than confidence? You know what? Let me talk about it. I seem to have enjoyed myself. So to say that they have a similar AI to solo play, yeah, Emperor of solo play. Since they have a similar AI to Emperor of solo play, which is interesting. But it seems that this one makes a calculation of based what players would do, rather than creating the environment of it. I kind of like the idea of solo play. Like it's kind of weird that they've not actually made a manual of it. Like if an anime back there's a manual of it, the concept is so good and it's so nice. I love readers studios to do it. Like they'll be like the best people I love to do it. Not people like this, someone like Reader Studio. Like I give so level of shit for just blitzing through things. But this is just people just reading information at me. Yeah, I will take that over it because Reader it has you have a lot of action in it and a good number of story to tell it. Though their romantic plot is meh. Like there's kind of anxiety I know, but it still didn't lead anywhere. So it was just worthless. Okay. I don't sound like a broken record. I sound like stuff because I'm probably going to have to do this for later on. But he went down 2 levels all of a sudden. Game error. Okay. Nobody else can do it but just him. Weird. Understandable. It's been a plot before. I won't complain. And then he went up by 20. I'm like, okay. So you get to 20 levels more than anybody else. That means you've struck on anybody's level by 20 starts. Like that all sounds cool, but I'm trying to wonder how much is 20 stats because in a way where I'm guessing like if you just 200 and stuff stats around because if one level is 10 stats then as well it was level 73. How much is that 20 stats really? Because if it's 73 and then someone 75 they're basically the same level. Are they not? Are they not? Can someone explain it to me? Are they not? Moving on. The bad Martin aside in this story, he's a terrible poker. He doesn't really have much talent. He just got a cheat skill. Yeah, he does have persistence and all, but not applicable what he's doing anyway. So yeah, like I'm trying to like the world is trying to show that they are now yes the world might be harsh on him, but they're just being factual. Because let's say he was doing something like okay, our best I can come is compared to solo leveling. Let's say like Jinwoo, he doesn't have any other skill. All he has is the solo leveling stuff. He basically has nothing, and then the hunter session is actually paying his mother's fees or his mother's like hospital bills. That is why he is there. But for this one, apparently, he's not doing anything useful. Like like if you are doing virtual reality stuff, there are definitely other technologies around that you could work in as but he chose the labor. He's always not good physical labor. I'm not good physical labor. I don't believe it is really a big deal if you have other skills that are software related, or like basically you can do other skills really well. Ah, I don't know. Like there's just so many things that are just uncompelling about his story. To me, I'm can't wait to other characters because this guy very uncompelling. Okay, like I said, this is the best time to bring it up. But the fact they brought it up before that is persistent is the fact they brought it up before that is persistent. It just ruins it. Like if they did this year, would it have been better? Maybe. Okay, definitely better than what they did because they had mentioned it was persistent and now I wasn't giving up. Like, you had to mention persistent. But even then, when they lost the game, there was no chance in hell. Like I repeat, there was no chance in hell after gaining a statue. They even went back to level 1 and getting that much legendary skills. There was no chance in hell he wouldn't have gone back. I don't care who you are. If you get that much skill, even if you are starting a new game again, Clash of Clans, any game you play, you all of a sudden, like, let's say you are let me say a COD player, you are level 100, but you waste to spend your hand and like your physical wasn't on the game for one. Someone says you will buy the maximum battle pass for you. Let's say there's one, they made a new one that's like probably like $1,000, a battle pass with a lot of abilities there, a lot of text that will add up over time. The computer may be far ahead, but you've already put in the hours there to get level 100. You are going to take the opportunity. In fact, like let's say you lose your account, someone is giving you that, you will take the opportunity. So is it really persistence? Ask yourself this. Like, I'll give an example now. Like I give Chinese manhwa a lot of shit, but this Chinese manhwa I read recently, what's the name again? So let me see if I can find it. Is it here? Something about the game. I don't remember the name of the game. Let me see. Jude. That one has a dumber premise than this one, but the characters they are endearing, and the character is actually like overpowered and all. Rich player, rich player. I've not been updated for a while, but if you guys want to read any manga, this is definitely a better manga. Like, is it showing it? I don't think so. It's showing on the screen. What am I even doing? This is definitely a better manga. Let's keep on reading. Problem with the games that I don't think this manga knows is that even if you want to use AI and all, you build a story to care about them. Like there are so many people that are so incredible. Like, all you need to do is just build a story, like a story through their experience, and then get them. Since it can be seen as normal people, but there's always the lingering stuff that AI people are not really dead. So it really has to be a really well crafted story. It's the issue I had with Otaku in season 2, where they was trying to follow us and Pope. That storyline was just so on the nose. So just like, no, I like Pope, but there was no way we thought he was going to die. Like, he has a virus, he can restart himself. Like, it was as simple as that said in the beginning. If they didn't know how to clear the virus in the first time, they just said that, and then he probably was on his last leg, but they knew how to do it. He didn't just want to do it. Could have backed up, or spent like a better trade lab in trying to find a backup, trying to be working for him and trying to find a backup for yourself, something enough to back you up, back up your centuries worth of data. That's a far better story, and it's an AI. Just a matter of getting a different AI. Simple. Seems the video has died. Sorry for the cuts in the entire video. So I've changed an area, some technical issues. So let's get back into the comic. I'm not showing too much, but the character is trying to say is an AI or an NPC, and personally, I did not care about an NPC. I do not know why the author chose to use an NPC for character. Okay, this is an AI character, and it's not even an AI character that we know. It's just weird, really. like there's no really emotional investment in this. The comic looks fancy, it looks nice and all, but emotionally I'm not invested in anything they are doing in this comic. It's just bland. This is a character that won't die. This is the character that can be revived or anything. So why is he trying to make it theatrical? Like, oh, this person is in danger. The world is about to, and you must really save this person. There is no real reason for him to jump into this battle. No real reason. But especially for the fact that he will get decimated if he jumps into this battle. He has a lot to lose from jumping into the battle actually. So I'm done with chapter 5. One of these should have with the story again. First of all, the main quest or what is the entire purpose of stuff should have been the fact that he is poor and he needs money, and then that should have driven his entire motion or motivanda. But that's not the focus. Like the story has a weird focus on the AI, which one again is not a good focus because nobody really cares about an AI. It's part of the game. Nobody cares about the AI. Even if you're going to make people care about the AI, you build him up, which takes time. There was none of that. And then he's actively running into danger. Like there was no reason for him to go into that temple. He just walked into the temple, realized he was in the temple and didn't leave. He didn't leave. He stayed there for like 10 minutes before he entered into trouble. It's like, I don't know. That's not persistence, that's a stupidity. In no way, shape, or form is that persistence. I don't know what the author is writing, what the author is thinking in his head. I'm not sure this is the story of the art style. Maybe it might be, or maybe the novel might be different. If you've read the novel, tell me in the comment section below. But the art is good. So I'm thinking that at least they are trying to adapt the story to the best knowledge they can. Because there is no way, I don't know what they wrote in the story, I've not read it, but I don't know how it is. If the story is good, I don't know how they fucked it up this badly. It's just not there. Okay. Why she talk like an NPC? She's a real person, but she talks like an NPC. But the NPC doesn't talk like an NPC. Like when they are right mind says 30% of my manner. Like let me put it as there are animes you need people do this. But in that anime, most people probably say the same thing. But this is a real person talking to an NPC, telling the NPC that social attack takes 30% of my power. Why is that information important? No reason. No reason. Okay, let me quickly recap what happened from there. I went to a little arrogant for my black magic, and then the guy says mesmer, and he activates the mesmer, and then she's genuinely shocked about it. She was like, you can use mesmer. Okay, even that would be weird because like I want to know level, like the highest level she used it. It's like, or she's like, you should be able to use mesmer. There's something like that. It's a bit cringy, but it's better than the nonsense we got here. Let me show you my power because he is actually behaving like a real player. She's behaving like the NPC, which is stupid. I don't know, but this isn't how people talk, and this is not how people talk to a computer. This is how a computer talks to people, not the other way around. And then they had to explain it twice. They explained it twice. You know, there's a big problem with a movie or a series when they explain a concept twice in the space of 2 panels. Or in a movie, in case of movie, when they explain a concept twice in a minute. Great. First of all, there was no way in hell we thought he was going to die from that. Second of all, there was no reason to jump in front of the guy. This is my issue with the story. It's stupid. Like it's just stupid and contrived. It is not a human player. You don't want to have an AI that won't die. The AI cannot die. Why are you saving yourself to that? He is not important in any sort of way. He has no value to the story. You just met him like 5 minutes ago, and you jump in front to save him. After you complain about the fact that you will lose your levels, you didn't want to help him, but now you just want to save him. Does that make sense? Like, does it make sense? Like, I wonder when people write stories, do they really think that their story makes sense? Like, it's not even like the overall story sense. It's sense from panel to panel. This is the same chapter, and he has corrected it like 3 times. I'm already eating the story already. Like, it's just like, I'm not against slow stories, but please let your premise make sense. The premise of this story doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, the assets and the values are solely misplaced as what. Like, this is so hard to read. Like, it's not as worse as some other mangas, but still, it's just a shame that a manga this with this so much art and passion behind it is just wasted on stupid story or stupid writing. Because it's like, really, really, he didn't target that you saved yourself. Like, even the story for the premise was annoying. The entire inciting this thing, the fact that he got killed by an AI because he went to a mission that was above his pay grade. Nobody sent you, you got killed by the AI. Fine. And it even worse was that was not even the starting point of the story. They started showing that it was strong. It's just like, just a lot of bad choices. Not a single choice that makes me listen, but just bad and dumb choices that they made in the story. I'll get to chapter 10 though, but I don't think I want to read this manga again. So now it says in the game where the strong devours the weak. Okay, but he is still weak, and he got it by an AI, but he somehow with more grudge to an AI than he does to a player. I killed him for no apparent reason that she's strong. But it was more growth to an AI that accused him because that is what he was programmed to do. It's like you're playing GTA now and you're angry at the villain in the game that was meant to kill you and make the game hard for you. But that book can defeat because you're not good enough. Then you are angry at a player that just PK'd you for no reason. Does that even make sense? Come on. I'm 10 times more interested in your sister right now because she's a different character. That's fact. He is not compelling as a character whatsoever, and it's just so sad because I could see like embers of good story here or embers of like solo play here. It's just misplaced. And the funny thing is that it's not like his character is a bad character. It's just that the things they make him do or the entire motive that is given to him is dumb. There's no way to say it. It's dumb. There is no way in hell your main inciting there should be an AI. An AI that was set by the game to defeat you is what makes you pissed off. And how come players in this game talk like robots and AI talk like humans? I think about that for a minute. You have more natural conversations in this story with players, with AIs than you have with actual human beings. Like if that it is, then the AI must working stuff. Because even if that it is, that means the AIs are still too human and should be. But what brings that up? Because I don't know in what sense in bad that some comes like this. I say what like I had. Like all these stupid ads they do, like all these mobile MK ads, whatever those mobile game ads they do these days. They have like stupid adverts. You know, like those like, yeah, I have 30% damage attacks, and I use this and this and this and that. Nobody talks like that. Like, even if you are giving specifications to your friends about a game's damage and stuff like that, you do not talk like that to anybody. Like, and then you're trying to say that these are people talk in the world, and then robots talk like human beings. Seriously? Seriously? Okay. Second question. I don't live in Korea, so I don't know anything about it. I don't know much about Korea. But this is his house. He has a TV that big, a good couch and everything. He lives in a decent apartment, but he carries brick for a living. Korea is a very populous country, so if your country is highly populous, the cheapest thing you can get is manual labor. But according to this, it's like, I'm just beating on the story too much because I don't really like being the kind of person who tries to bring artists out of like nitpicking things, but this story has done so many stupid things at this point that I have to point this out. Okay, a truly useless information we don't need to know. He said this information, like, I don't know, like, it's kind of funny to me that we're in 2021, but people still don't know how to deliver exposition at all in whatsoever manner. This was just literally said like a page ago when sister asked him if the game makes money. He says the game makes 2 billion, that's 2 billion people following it. Fine. Now we are back here again and he's saying that every channel talks about they say these channels have to do the game. It's like, yeah, the channels have to do with the game that has 2 billion followers on it. It's like, how many people does Facebook even have? Like, think about that for a moment. And Facebook is a social media app, and I'm sure if Facebook was like Facebook, let me go to YouTube. YouTube, we are on the platform YouTube. There are various people on YouTube, and some people talk about how to make money on YouTube because a lot of people use YouTube. And if it was a game that a lot of people are on, what game is that popular? I don't know. I don't play much online games like that. GTA. How many videos on GTA do we have on the internet? Like, if I set the hashtag for GTA 5, how many videos will I find? Like, this is a truly useless information. If they took away this bubble, it takes nothing from the story, it adds nothing to the story. Sorry, it will make the story much easier. Because what just do that is eating. And why is the CEO of the game okay, it's not the CEO. That was a mistake. At this point, this story is irritating me. I want to just get it over with that chapter. And about the story about, and this was start acting back to the past. They mentioned that he's resilient, but no way has that played any motive in the story. But I mentioned also that the worst thing you can do is just info dump, and then you can do a much worse thing, or I don't know what to use for this, but like the worst thing you can do, the worst you can do to give it, but the worst thing you can do is give an info dump that has no relevance to the story, which they just did affect that trap. So they mentioned that he's persistent, but fact being, he is more lucky than any other thing than being persistent, or just more stupid. It's not even like, it's like dumb luck, like active dumb luck. Like, he's not even plot armor at this point. It's just stupid. I'm sorry, but this one recommending this thing to you. It's shit, complete shit, nonsense. The art is good. You can read for the art, but you are reading for the story. Like, I'm not missing a decent fight in this thing. Just like everybody else looks good, love the art, but there's nothing decent about it. And I was wondering why this rubbed like a dragon. That's the aesthetic they are going for. That's the aesthetic they are going for. see what I mean? NPCs are better than people in this story. Like even that is not, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Like, I don't care she's crying. I get that. She's supposed to be realistic and all. But it's an NPC for crying out loud. I do not care about him. He doesn't even have any introduction. We got to be him for like 5 minutes and I'm supposed to care. Like, who writes this? Like, this was the human character that died in the story and gets right. It's way better. Just give me a backstory that he really needs his level, and him falling below that level is him losing a quarter or something. It's much more compelling than an NPC dying and probably respawning somewhere else. And even if you want to use an NPC, make him compelling. This is just terrible. iPad got full again. I've been waiting for morning. I made like this video like 120 hours long. I'm going to have to cut it down. But I've read just 9 chapters or like 9.5 chapters on this thing, and I'm already so pissed at it. I'm already alone in my time and then give you a review of it later. But right now, this story sucks. Like, it sucks so badly. The mental health bullshit they say this story makes no damn sense in any aspect of the story. So the robot, which is virtual, makes players tired. Like I mentioned this before, that anytime the story builds out elements like they always tend to shoot themselves in the leg with it. It's not like he's tired and then he's persistent. The AI is making him tired, artificially tired, because he is lying down in a bed or in the pod and making him artificially tired. But he's pushing through that tiredness that the AI is making. It's like, how useless is the AI that the mechanic make you players tired doesn't work. I think about that for a moment. It's just bad choice after bad choices. This story it's not like this. They're not just make like problem for them. Just throwing things at they are not really thinking things through. I think all the author had in his mind was some big idea of making him overpowered or stuff. It was like a slow burn to get in there. But this is stupid. No emotional investment, nothing. The story is just useless. And it's sad because the art looks like this. You see things like this, like the art is really, really nice. Like the art is really, really nice. But overall, it's just a very, very stupid story. Really, persistence is my weapon. Really. Like, as childish as I will never ever give up, it's better than persistence is my weapon. Especially when more than 10 people have said it and it's all just nonsense. This story is bad at exposition, and it does the worst thing you can ever do when you do exposition. Is when you give exposition that you don't choose to be true, and it turns out to even be like false or the complete opposite, or just something entirely contrived, not by accident but just by bad storytelling. So finally I achieved level one. Who cares? It's nonsense. Like, I'm sorry, but if somebody recommend this story to you, don't ever read it. If you read it, be ready for the bullshit that comes with the story. It's nonsense, complete and utter nonsense. I'm signing out here. I better want to read something else or watch something else. Watch One Piece. I'm currently watching One Piece, so I'll go and watch that to get my mind off this. Yes, I'm ready for the time skip. About chapter 1010, it's a nice chapter, but this story, it hurts my head. So I'm going to stop here. Later, alligator.